Hello, welcome. Today I'll be talking about diversity of women in the workplace and why it is important for your company. Some important things with diversity is statistics have shown that when you have a diverse workforce, if that is more females or more ethnicities, more religions, today I'm focusing on females, but your revenue, you'll make more money. Finances will get better. You will have higher revenue, which is awesome. Secondly, the knowledge. Women and men think differently no matter what people argue. And so we come with different knowledge. Everyone has a different background. Everyone was raised a little bit differently. And so you have knowledge on how to make a business and company better. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the diversity plan that I use for the company that I work for. We're going to go over 4 things: relevant statistics, strategies, implementation, and evaluation. It is essential to know relevant statistics within and outside of your organization because it shows if you're doing well in some areas and also areas that you can improve on. It is critical when looking at a business analysis and data collection that you use statistical significance. You may have never heard of that word before, but statistical significance means that you're looking at data and deciding if it's likely due to chance or luck, or if it's actually a factor of interest. In other words, I'm saying if you feel confident that the data analysis is real, or did the company just get lucky or unlucky? My second part of my diversity plan is strategy. Some strategies that align with our organization is we want to increase revenue and we want to become more diversified. These go hand in hand. Studies have shown that when you have a diverse workforce, you make more money. A study done in 2014 shows how women in the workforce can benefit our revenue. Retail companies had a 14% higher income with more females in leadership roles. Let me say that again. Retail companies had a 14% higher income with more females in leadership roles. By women joining our workforce and having that gender bias gap closed and more equal, we are going to make more money, which is going to hit 2 of our goals at one time. Third, I'm going to talk about how I implement this diversity plan. Our company, for the next 5 years, I want to see 40% of women in executive roles and 60% of men. Right now, we're sitting at 30% of women and in administrative positions and 70% of men. I'm giving us 5 years because a lot of our executives will be retiring in that time frame, which will allow us to have more gender diverse workforce. When interviews are happening, I want 2 women sitting in on the interviews and 2 men sitting in on the interviews, because that is a gender equal interviewing team, and that's ideally where we want to get for our business. Every year on January 2nd, we're going to review as a company and management how we're doing with women and men equally throughout the company. After that meeting, we'll decide if we need to improve and make sure that we get to that 30%, give or take a few women in our management workforce. Lastly is evaluation. I kind of touched on this in implementation, but I want to know how successful we are, and once a year we'll go over the statistics of men and women in management roles. Our goal is going to be in 5 years to have 30% of women in our management. That means that we need to increase by 10%, and I want that number to go up each year. If it's staying the same or dropping below, I want to know why. The people that interviewed the candidate, I want you to take notes after every interview so that we can measure and figure out why we're not moving up. This is how I will measure to make sure that management equality is happening. The culture of inclusion and its impact. Inclusion is so important. We want our employees to feel valued, and when they feel valued, their self-esteem will rise and they will work better for us. The impact that that has is when you have a diverse workforce, like I touched on before in the presentation, finances will be better. You'll make more money. It's just the truth. Knowledge. You have so much more knowledge from different people, different backgrounds, different genders. Their knowledge is just different on things. People interpret knowledge differently when they learn in school, and so it's so important to have that diversity. Lastly, it's going to impact our customers. If our customers see that we have a diverse workforce, they're going to be able to connect with somebody. You know, women are more likely to connect with women, and men are more likely to connect with men. And so that will build our customer base, and they're going to want to shop with us more often. It's important when you work in groups that you are diversified, because you're going to learn things differently. For example, say that you have a problem that comes across and you are trying to figure it out. People with different backgrounds, they've been through different things in their life. And so maybe they've gone through that. They've solved that problem before. They can bring those ideas in and help to problem solve better. If we're making a new product, if you work in a group that's diversified, they're going to have new ideas and ways to say, hey, we might run across this problem, but this is how we're going to fix that. And it's just so important to have groups that aren't the same for the exact same people with a little difference. If you have diversity, it just works better, believe me. Hofstede's culture of dimensions. I'm going to go through each one of these dimensions and explain what we do in our company and how we kind of rate on this scale. Power distance. We embrace hierarchy. We have management. That is my little boy. He got off his sensor, his breathing sensor. And so his monitor was just beeping. I apologize for that. We have management, we have vice presidents, we have CEOs. We have a tier that you have to go up in our company. Not everybody's equal. It's just kind of the way that it is. Collectivist. Group and teamwork is important. When we create new things, there's a team of people. It's not just one person. And when there's a problem, there's a team of us. You know, we are a little bit uncomfortable with uncertainty. We don't take risks without doing our research and being confident in that risk. We want to make sure that we are being wise and not just taking risks because, that might be good for the company. We have a lot of people to think about and their incomes that we can't just take risks at the fly of a hat. You know what I mean? You can't do it all the time. The femininity versus masculinity, we want a happy medium of nurture and toughness, just kind of like how we want to diversify female and males in our company. We want that happy medium. We want you to be tough and not tolerate certain things, but at the same time, bring things up in a caring and loving way. With orientation, we're kind of in the middle with some things are short-term, some things are long-term. For example, some of our goals short-term is to, make $10,000 more. Long-term, in 5 years, we want 40% of our management to be women. Lastly, restraints. We don't indulge much. Sometimes it's easy to go with your desires and want to make the business great and let's just go with what I desire. Let's make lots of money. And we want to be wise in our choices. Not that we don't like to indulge, because sometimes, we all need a break and we all need to indulge. But I think that it's wise to kind of restrain that a little bit. Some of the best practices that I can give you for diversity when it comes to management is managers need to always be accepting of every individual. We need to value every individual and be empathetic. If they come to you with a problem and you think this is just ridiculous, you need to have empathy with them and help them kind of figure out how to solve that problem You want to come alongside people, not just be management looking down on them. Things that my managers end as soon as it comes across their desk or as soon as they run into it is gossip. I don't tolerate gossip in my company. Gossip, you're going to figure out what's the truth, and it stops once it hits our desk. Don't be in denial about things. If you do something wrong, admit it, be honest. Don't be in denial about a problem, because we're going to have to fix it sometime. So now's the time. And we don't blame others. There's two sides to every story, and we want to be fair, and we have a list of things that we tolerate and what we don't tolerate, and that's how we solve some of our problems. We want to make every individual and employee feel valued, feel like they are unique, and they each play a role in our company. Without them, we could not run. And that is something that I strive for my company, and each one of my management knows this is how we treat our employees. We treat our employees with respect, every single one of them. Thank you today for listening. I covered how I do things a little bit at my company, my diversity plan, why I think that women are a crucial thing to our company. And I thank you for listening. If you have questions or concerns, let me know. I would love to talk with you. And I just think that I should win because I've put in the work, I've seen results, and I have a passion to help people when they are struggling with this in their company.